don't think I see as much quality crossing as I would like
Yeah.
in the game anymore. But we've seen two excellent ones to start the game, one by UNM and one by Denver. So you can tell these are very well coached teams, very well versed in the important aspects of the game.
So again, the Pioneers and the Lobos doing battle here. 33 minutes left in the first period. Still no score. Both teams still feeling each other out right now. The Lobos do have possession at this point. They'll bring it in bounce. It goes kind of deep, but controlled by the Pioneers. And they will back it all the way out to see if they can regroup here and try to get some offense going as they come to the left side now. And Riley puts it all the way deep and chasing it down, and it will go all the way to the goalie. He'll pick it up and send it back in play, and that will go to Kyle Venner, and then back to the goalie, Patrick Poblet.
The role of the goalie is intensified or made much more significant by keeping a high line that creates a lot of space behind the back line of the defense that the goalie is responsible for. He often has to come out and play much like a sweeper role there to clean up the balls that get played into that space.
So now they go to the right side, and a possible play here for the Lobos, and then the ball will go out of bounds just off the feet of James Rogers, and he'll give it back over to the Pioneers.
James Rogers, another foreign-born player from Sierra Leone. Excellent player for the Lobos. A very dangerous attacking player. You could see how quick he was right there.
Yeah.
His touch just let him down a little bit. Wasn't able to control it.
You know, with the kind of program that the Lobos have put together in the past 3 or 4 years, they have that, knack to draw in some of these players that you've been talking about.
Well, I asked Jeremy last night about their success at getting foreign-born players here, and asked him how they did that, and he said they basically come to them. They have their contacts out in the world. They're respected in the soccer circles, and the coaches suggest that they come to New Mexico. So kind of a soccer network out there supporting Lobo soccer for us, which is great for us.
Absolutely. So again, some control here for both teams as the Pioneers at this point trying to control it on the right side, on their side of the field. They got some nice play between Vetter and Johnson, and then they back it all the way back outside and regroup this thing, and still trying to do something on the right side of the field.
Denver has done a really good job kind of settling down after those first kind of frantic few minutes, and now you can see the fluidity of their play, them trying to maintain possession, draw the Lobos out, and create some spaces they can use.
So Blair Geralds and Christian Harlan were trying to do something back here. Then they get it up front. There's a pass to the inside and then picked up by the goalie, Patrick Poblet, and he'll put it back in play here in just a second or two.
So now Denver's kind of created a little bit of rhythm for themselves. Let's see if the Lobos can do the same. Link together 5 or 6 passes here, create a little flow to their game.
So again, another player for the Lobos, Chris Goudelet from Longmont, Colorado, but the one we wanted to focus on was Michael Kafari, and he is from
Accra, Ghana.
Wow,
so
it's amazing.
Another African-born player for the Lobos. They really seem to have a connection in New Zealand. There's 4 Kiwis on this particular team. A couple of years ago, one of the leaders of the team was Andrew Boyens, who I believe is still playing in MLS. Lobos likewise have had great success getting players into the professional ranks. Last year they were in one of only 7 schools in the country to get multiple players in the MLS draft, 2 in the first round and 1 in the supplemental draft. And they also, their goalkeeper is playing professionally in Guatemala now too. So excellent job of giving the boys an opportunity to continue their soccer careers after college.
And usually that means a little bit of money after college. And again, the Lobos with another attack, getting a shot there by James, and it goes over the back of the goalie, and it will go back over to the Denver Pioneers.
that shot by Ben McKendry was off target, didn't really hit the target, but it was the right thing to do. Ball bounced to him in the 18, no pressure. That's what you should do. Look for the shot.
So again, the goalie for the Denver Pioneers will put it into play. And here it comes. It's a short kick. And it's amazing. Earlier on, we managed to call the game for the Lady Lobos, and their goalies are just as powerful in kicking that ball, Jake.
That's right. Yeah, the goalkeepers in this part of the country in particular have to be strong because the wind always blows.
Yeah,
so you got to have a good leg.
Indeed. So again, Poblete will put it back in play for the Lobos here. And this time he's going to go ahead and kick it. And look at the size of that kick. Oh, my goodness.
So a little goalie wars training right now.
Yep.
Well, the wind has shifted again. Now it's going a little bit different direction. It's going to be that way. I have a feeling for the afternoon, kind of swirling. Players are going to have to read that and weight their passes accordingly.
So again, the Denver Pioneers on the attack. This time they go to the center of the field, got one guy up front, and oh, what a collision there by the goalie and one of the Denver Pioneers who is still on the turf, slow to get up.
That was a dangerous ball, but that was nearly a goal-scoring opportunity for the Pioneers, and it turns into transition for the Lobos, who get a shot on the other side. Again, a little disappointing on not hitting the target, but an excellent counterattack.
And that was Brian Hoyt was shaken up on the play. Obviously okay, he's up, talks with one of the referees, and apparently he is going to have to come out of the game. Nope, looks like they're going to go ahead and keep him in there.
I think he was making the point that that was not a shoulder-to-shoulder charge, that the goalkeeper came at him
right
full forward, which is not allowed in the game of the soccer, even with the goalkeeper. Goalkeepers get a little bit of leeway, I must say, in the way that it's called in the box, though. So not unusual for that to go as a no call.
So here comes the play. Poblete will let it go out of bounds, and it will go over to the Lobos again.
It was very obvious on that ball. You could see how the wind was holding that up. It stayed in the air for a good 2 seconds.
So Poblete will put it in play again, and let's see what happens. Well, again, here comes the Lobos on the attack. This one's going to go a little bit too far and go all the way to the goalie again.
You could see McKendry was asking for the ball a little wider there, a little too direct down the middle of the field. He's pointing more to the flank. He wants the ball played into a space that the goalkeeper can't use his hands to get on top, to get on that ball, so then he can attack the goal.
So it will go out of bounds, and it'll stay with the Lobos here, so they will bring it in bounds, and chasing it down for the Lobos is Caleb Hilbrun. Let's see what he can do with it. So they're getting ready to bring it in here, the Lobos.
A little bit of a contrast in style so far. Denver looking like they're more the team that wants to build. The Lobos seem to be pretty ready to counter quickly and play a deeper ball in. A little bit of a difference in style right now. We'll see if that is maintained, or if the game dictates that they change their tactics a little bit.
So now a little bit of pushing going on down there as both teams trying to gain possession of the ball, and people falling down. Now a penalty here as the whistle blows, and that's going to go against the Pioneers. The Lobos will get it back here. That James will bring it in for the, well, actually it's going to be a, well, they're putting it on the floor. Jake, what's going on?
It'll be a free kick to New Mexico. They just changed who was going to play it in. The delay in the whistle there is kind of an example of how the referee will wait to see if advantage is maintained by one team before he makes the call. So sometimes it looks like he's not going to make a call, but he's just waiting to see. He doesn't want to take away an advantage from the team in possession of the ball if it plays out that way.
So now again, inbounds over to James, and then James jumped up a little high, and then he goes to the turf. And the Pioneers will get it back here as James touched it with his hands, and it goes over to the Pioneers, and they have control of it now. Lobos on the attack here.
Lobos offering some pretty good pressure there, that far up the field there. You could see that in the previous possessions, they were content to sit back behind the midline. That time they were actually applying pressure all the way down in the edge of the defensive third there. So a little bit higher pressure, thinking that maybe they can win the ball further up the field.
So again, the ball goes out of bounds and throw down the center flag, but it goes inbounds to the Lobos. James all over the place trying to get to it, still battling for it, and then
he's going to have to be careful there. That's the second time he's handled the ball. If the referee feels like he's doing it intentionally, that could result in a card and could limit his playing time, so he needs to be a little careful there.
Again, that's James Rogers, and James Rogers again from Sierra Leone. Pioneers with the control now at midfield, and then James goes in there and no penalty, and again they do get him this time.
Again, that was waiting to see if the advantage played out. Lobos got the ball. Our referee gives it back to Denver.
So the Pioneers will get it on the right side there. It looks like it's going to be a free kick, or they're going to bring it in bounds. It's going to be a kick, and he looks to try to get something to happen here. And there's the kick. It puts it in play for the Pioneers.
And that's the way you want to strike the ball on a windy day like today, keeping it more driven, just about head high and driven hard. That way the wind doesn't have as much opportunity to affect it.
And that will go all the way back, and the Lobos will control it, put it in play. And there's James with it. Nice footwork by James. Trying to get it one of his teammates. Didn't get it there, though. And then stolen away. And here comes the Lobos on a give and go. Nothing there to James. And it goes all the way back. And a nice kick by the goalie. You can see how the wind has impeded the ball from going any further. Pioneers on the attack. Nice footwork. Nice passing by the Pioneers on the inside. Then it's stolen away again by the Pioneers, and then the Lobos with it.
Nice challenge there to win it back nice and strong. You see, he's a very powerful player. He's very, very strong.
And again, the Pioneers continuing, and then we have a break here. Oh, it just loses it.
Touch lets him down.
Looks like he overran the ball there, Jake.
Yeah, he just didn't quite get it, which was too bad because that was an excellent attacking ball.
So again, it goes out of bounds here, and it'll stay with the Denver Pioneers. Still no score, 21 minutes left in the first half. It's been a pretty good game thus far. A lot of possession by both teams. Nothing too dominating at this point.
Right now it looks to me like the Lobos are trying to be a much more quicker striking team. When they get the ball, they're pretty determined to get it forward quickly, whereas Denver's a little bit more comfortable just sitting on the ball longer.
We've got a ball on the inside, and that will stay in bounds. And again, here comes the Lobos trying to get something to happen, and just off one of the feet of the Lobos, and then they'll kick it back to the goalie.
And that sprint, that's a 45-yard sprint by that young man.
Yeah.
Again, Michael Kafari with the excellent, tough challenge. You can see the power in him.
So again, the Lobos trying to control, goes out of bounds, stays here with the Lobos. They will get it back here, and they'll send Vetter over to bring it in for the Lobos.
When the ball goes out of touch or goes into touch like that, and they can pick it up and throw it, it gives them an opportunity to take their time and get more players forward so that they have better numbers when they throw the ball in, and that's exactly what they did there. Kind of slowed it down a little bit, got a few more players forward into the attack.
And again, some players going down. The Lobos with some good stuff. There's a shot. Oh!